Good morning, everybody. Thank you so much for being here. I want to give a special welcome to Library Foundation board members, members of the media, our library family. It's so refreshing and rewarding to see so many of you with us today. And also, I want to just thanks to our partners who are here that I'll be giving a special introduction to in a few minutes. We at the Indianapolis Public Library Foundation are so excited to announce our 50th anniversary. Today is the actual 50th year of our existence, so thank you. My name is Roberta Knickerbocker Jaggers, and I'm the president of the Library Foundation, and it's just my pleasure to represent this wonderful board and staff that we have working on behalf of our library and our citizens here today. We wanted to make this event a really fun party, so we invited some of the most fun people we know, our mascots over here. And we also have a couple of distinguished human guests from our teams. We have Cal Burleson, Senior Vice President of Community Affairs with the Indianapolis Indians. And we have Tamika Catchings, who's the Director of Player Programs and Franchise Development for Pacers Sports and Entertainment, author, former Fever player, and luminary in the Center for Black Literature and Culture. And I also want to thank the support teams that are here with the Colts and the Indians and the Pacers. I've met some old friends and met some new friends today, so we just appreciate your efforts to make this happen. As many of you know, the Indianapolis Public Library Foundation is the private fundraising arm of the public library system, and we were founded in 1969 by a library director named Harold Sander, and he founded the foundation because the library's aspirations for serving our community by far exceeded what was possible with a publicly supported budget. And that's still true today. So while your tax dollars fund vital library resources such as staff, building upkeep, and most of the library's collection, the foundation provides support for vital resources that bring these resources to life through dynamic programs, cutting-edge services, and inspiring facilities. So we raise the money, and the library does the really hard work of making this happen. To date, we have provided more than $76 million for the library, thanks to generosity from many donors in the community. And this support has allowed the library to do a lot of things. It's helped them to help parents and child care providers nurture children's love of reading from an early age. It's encouraged youth to read for learning and pleasure and explore technology, both through special programs at the library and innovative, nationally recognized partnerships with schools. We've empowered adults to pursue new interests and opportunities through our job center and our code cafe. We've celebrated diversity and fostered cultural understanding through lectures, exhibits, performances, community conversation, and as well as outreach to Indianapolis's newest residents. And we serve the public, allows the library to serve the public in inspiring places. And as some of you may know, the Library Foundation raised $43 million for this building, and that was a really essential part of being able to get the city council to agree to the public funding that made this building possible. So we are so grateful to everybody who's helped us get where we are today. And we especially want to thank our friends from the Indians, Pacers Sports and Entertainment, and the Colts. All three teams have a very long history of supporting the library, and they're just as committed to making Indianapolis a reading town as they are a sports town. And I think that's really worth noting. A lot of people in the community see this as a false dichotomy, and they're really connected in all three of these organizations. So before I announce the Next 50 campaign, which is a fundraising effort focused on making reading a cherished part of every childhood, I'd like to invite the teams to say a few words about why and how they've supported the Library Foundation throughout many years of our history. I'd like to start with the Indians, and Cal, would you come forward, please?
Well, thank you, Roberta. The Indians and the library have a relationship that goes back over 20 years. Our players have been involved in the Call an Indian Summer Program since 1997. This is where kids can call a phone number and the Indians players will read a short story to them. We've also been a strong supporter of the summer reading program. There's no more accurate indicator of how a person's quality of life will project than their ability to read. This year's Library Night at Victory Field will be Monday, July 15th, and students can earn tickets by participating in the library's summer reading program. The Indians are also supporting the library's Next 50 Fund. This effort is designed to make sure that the library will continue to have the resources that will encourage learning for the youngsters in our community. The Indians are going to be a financial contributor to the Next 50 Fund, and we urge others to do so also. So thank you for your time. Thank you, Roberta, for this opportunity.
And now it's a pleasure to introduce Tamika Catchings, who will represent Pacer Sports and Entertainment.
I'm about to just take it off. First off, I want to say thank you, Roberta, for having us. I am here with Boomer, representing Pacer Sports and Entertainment. We are super excited just about the opportunity to talk about reading and to engage our community, especially our youth. Like the Indians, we do a lot of stuff as far as Caller Fever, yay, Caller Fever, Caller Pacer programs, and a lot of other different things. We do a lot of reading programs throughout the state of Indiana, and we will continue to do that. Super excited about the Next 50 campaign and just being involved and being a part of it. So you guys know reading is definitely something that is extremely important, not only for myself, for my teammate, past and former and future, and we are just really excited about being here and being able to represent Pacer Sports and Entertainment. Got anything? Whatever I said. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Tamika and Cal. We appreciate you sharing your stories, which are in fact our story, which are in fact the community's story. And we really appreciate all that the Pacers and the Fever and the Indians have done to help the library and the Library Foundation encourage children's literacy. So let's go back to 1969 for a few minutes. Harold Sander, our founder, we referenced him earlier. He might have been able to anticipate elements of our partnership. So for example, I think the summer reading program was definitely around then, so he would have gotten people giving money to the summer reading program. He would have understood probably sporting events as prizes and players reading to children, but perhaps not the way through which readers were being reached through these programs. So for example, Call a Story, which relies on voicemail, this technology was not even invented in 1969. It wasn't widely in use until the 1980s. So he might not have been able to anticipate that. And I've talked to his grandchildren. One of his grandchildren, Angela Lupton with Butler University, is one of our board members, and she's with us today. And talking to her and her brother Scott, realizing that the internet would have probably completely blown his mind, yet there's so much a part of how children learn. So if we take our lesson from history, what we know is that we can, if we look into the future, we know that there's still going to be a library. We know that there's going to be kids. We know it's going to be so important to encourage children to read and to learn, but we don't necessarily know how that will happen in the future because of changes in technology. So we do know, though, that the library is going to need some funding to meet the needs of the future, because they're going to face increasingly complex opportunities and challenges as they want to continue their very important mission of making reading an essential and enjoyable part of every childhood. So that's why we're establishing this Next 50 Fund. And this is going to be a new permanent endowment to support the library's evolving efforts on behalf of youth. Our goal is to raise at least $150,000 to get the fund started, and I'm excited to announce today that we're well on our way, thanks to generous gifts from the Indianapolis Foundation and several other early supporters. So I would like to ask, and you're all here, the mascots to join me here, and maybe some of you could move around to the other side of the yeah, thank you. And then, yeah, oops, we lost our, here, I'll hold that for you. So we'll now like to ask Blue here to help us to unveil how much has been raised so far and how much we have left to go. Hey. So we are so excited about the support that we've received so far for the Next 50 Fund. And we just want to offer everybody here some tips or ideas for how you can get involved. First of all, you can share your story and stay up to date with ours by visiting us on Facebook and Twitter, or on our Library Foundation anniversary page, which is IndyPLFoundation.org/50. Also on the website, there's information about ways to be part of other opportunities. So of course you can make a gift to the Next 50 Fund, and the campaign is going through the end of the year. We still have $68,000 left to go, and Indy's future generations are counting on us, so let's see those gifts come in. We also have a very special event coming up on May 3rd called Cheers for 50 Years. This is going to be our anniversary celebration, and this is an adults event to explore Central Library after hours and experience firsthand some of our most popular Library Foundation funded programs. And you can do this with a library libation in your hand, which is unlike your experience as a child at the library. So if you ever want to beatbox or get personal with an exotic animal or program a robot, this event is for you. So tickets will go on sale on our website in mid-March. And we just want to say thank you so much to everybody for being with us today. Thank you for helping us share the word about the Library Foundation, our 50 years of history, and our efforts to prepare for the future and prepare for the children's future. And it takes all of us. So it's just so wonderful to see you with us, and we hope you have a wonderful morning. We do have some birthday treats for everyone who's here to enjoy. We got 100 cookies, so help yourself, maybe take 2, and we just hope you'll stay, and we're happy to answer any questions anyone has as well. Okay?